everybody, Steve Arvey right down here in Melbourne, Australia. Here we are. Cole Clark, my first time ever playing a Cole Clark. These are nice little boxes here.
So, the big deal is that pickup.
Right.
Okay, so what you have is a knob that controls how much bridge pickup you've got and how much face pickup you've got. So you can have it all of the bridge, and that gives you sort of an interesting sound. I find if you bring it in between and you get both, you've got the bottom end from the bridge, you've got the mid-range coming from the face, and you've got the top end coming from the microphone, which...
So none of this is really like piezo style technology.
Yeah, this is here.
So that's like a piezo back here,
Yeah.
and then
You've got the sensor which runs about there. So basically, you know, if you say wanted to make this sound like a resonator, you'd go all the way to the face or close to the face
I
and
see, yeah.
lift the mid-range, so you get a resonator kind of sound out of it.
Right.
If you want your basic, and that's something else I find about this. You can actually, with a lot of other pickups, I find the best way to get a really good sort of sound is to pull the mid-range out. Just personally, and I usually boost the treble and the bass on other pickups, but this one you can have it just at a nice spot. You can boost your mid-range without it sounding nasty. You know, sometimes you get to those nasty frequencies.
Right.
The other cool thing is if you're playing in a band, because there's a reduced incidence of feedback, you can actually have this in an acoustic sound rather than having all your mid-range brought up so that it cuts through, you know, and doesn't feedback with the bottom end and all that sort of stuff. So it's really well designed, thought out pickup system.
Yeah, that really does help a lot. Nice. Morning world. How's my hair? Hey everybody. It's early in the morning while everybody else is going, and I'm going on the ride today to go out to the Cole Clark factory. And this is Flinders Street Station. I've been staying downtown, right here in downtown Melbourne. And hey, how you doing? Good on you. And so here we're going to go on the Flinders Street Station. This is the big station right here, Flinders Street. And everybody's going to work. Everybody have a great day. All right. So here we are in Bayswater, where the Cole Clark plant is based out of, and that's the train that I just took all the way out from downtown Melbourne, Flinders Station. And,
So we do two types of timber. We do timber we buy from a timber supplier in billets, but we also do a lot of urban recovery. So ultimate in sustainability, you get a tree, and then we mill it ourselves. We've got our own mill. So we milled all this ourselves. This is Californian redwood. big tree redwood, Sequoia giganteum.
So now, but is this from the redwoods that were brought here from the guy from Germany? Or I heard a story about
Baron
this,
von
right?
Müller. Yeah.
Eric von Mueller. So these are like legendary.
Yeah.
So these are pieces of the trees that he brought here.
Yeah. So 1850s, he planted a lot of one-off gardens for people. So
Right.
like one-off trees in gardens and stuff, and those trees have been dying, and that's what we've been getting. So this one was about probably 120 years old, a lot of them 150 years old. There's not a lot of them anyway. Southern silky oak.
This is silky oak.
Sorry, this is southern silky oak. So this is lacewood, you call it over there. So this
Right.
is actually Australian timber. Seagull Godin have used it a bit. They're sort of, it's an Australian tree but grows in Canada quite a bit.
All right.
So yeah, so we cut all this ourselves.
Great.
As you can see.
What's this over here? Is this a maple?
That's just a bit of California redwood just right on the outside. So just slab, sapwood kind of thing. So all this is just drying.
How long do you let the wood dry for?
It depends on when we need to use it. It's usually sort of 6 months to a year, just in the climate controlled environment, and then we've got drying kilns as well. So we'll use it. We'll process it through the drying kilns as well.
Okay.
So yeah, dehumidification, humidifier. So we keep the factories between 42 and 48% humidity, and that's all 3 factories. So all 3 buildings.
Oh yeah, look at this.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
So this is blackwood, mainly blackwood, California redwood.
Wow, look at this. Unbelievable.
So yeah, this tree's been dead for 2 years. So yeah, it's now going to be used for making guitars. So yeah, so timber we've either bought ourselves or cut ourselves, so in billets. We've got a large drying, timber drying room, small drying room. So we'll cut it into backsides, bases, etc. Dry it in the fast drying. 40 degree, get it down to about 6%, 4%, and then bring it up to 8%, and then we make guitars. So
Wow.
That's that. So this is the mill. So this straddles the log, and then we've got the So this part here, this is the slabber. So giant chainsaw, 750cc motor.
Wow.
Or like a 20-inch blade that goes down 10 inches. And that'll go vertical, horizontal. And 750cc motor on that. So you basically slide them along the frame. This is blackwood. Shipped and arrived from a supplier, but yeah, shipped and arrived for the paint. So here. They're bass necks, 3-piece bass necks for the new bass guitar. So we won't go down further than this, but this is basically 2 5-axis CNCs, 1 3-axis. Cuts, cutting 2 different neck cuts, cutting faces, bracing sides. So basically load the machine, cut, load the next one, cut, load the next one, cut, unload the first one, load it up. So 1 or 2 operators will keep that going all day. Yeah, there's it.
Is it open? Ah, cool. Oh yeah.
So redwood drying.
It's redwood drying.
That's it. Headstock. Blackwood headstocks.
These are the little removable headstocks that can crack,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Upcut. So standing, punching, yeah. Glue wrap. So gluing the neck block on the neck.
Right.
Base neck. And this is gluing bunya faces, 2-piece bunya faces. So build. So this is very different to the Martin method of manufacturing, which most steel strings are. So most steel strings have got a box, they got a sound block, attached to the neck with a dovetail joint. So this is the Spanish method, so made like a Spanish nylon string guitar is, and have been for 300 years. So basically it's a 1-piece neck that goes all the way through, neck block on top of the neck.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. So the neck goes all the way through.
Yep.
You still have an adjustment rod back there.
Yep, so truss rod works all the way through to there.
Right.
And the whole neck gets glued to the face, and then the sides get glued into the neck. You don't get that humping on the 12th fret if the weather's dry or wet, because it's 1 piece all the way through, so you don't get that movement there. The carved top, so it's thicker in the middle and less thick around the outside. So it's a double V instrument. I know another manufacturer's doing V bracing. We've been doing it 15 years, and yeah, so we've got a V coming down and a V going up. The idea is to keep it stiff in the middle. We've got a small scalloped X in the middle to keep that stiff and a good acoustic coupling of the bridge. So. But yeah, so it's very thin around the outside, so it's this carved top we've got.
Now, where does that other piezo go on the inside?
So that's the face sensor there. Okay. So you've got a piezo under the bridge, which is like an ovation or a takamine kind of thing, and then this is the face sensor. So many manufacturers will bring a piezo under the bridge is very unnatural sounding, very metallic sounding.
Right, exactly.
So what we do is, and most people will bring in a microphone in that mid-range, but it feeds back on stage. You got to turn the microphone on.
Right.
So what we do is we got this face sensor, and that won't, and it's on a brace, which is part of our patent, and we bring this into the mid-range and high end. And it won't feed back any more than the piezo will. So basically, you know, this piezo will go from the bottom. We wind this in at about 350 hertz, and then you've got a blend of this piezo and the phase sensor from about 350 hertz, and then we do have a microphone that comes in at 2.5 kilohertz to take the ping out of the piezo, and that's in the side of it's an omnidirectional mic in the side of the preamp. So yeah,
Gotcha. All right.
so we'll go round to components. Those components, preparing the small.
This is a very important thing.
So basically,
The sides are up.
yeah. So we'll get into that in a second. So when we first cut on the CNCs to cut the original trenches, then we glue that timber in, which has happened here. Then that'll get sanded off, goes back on the CNC upside down with these location markers, and then it does the carve in the back. These location markers then get used for putting the bridge on, so the bridge is in the right place.
Right.
Gets used for putting the neck on, so the neck's in the right place. Gets used again for putting the fingerboard on, so the fingerboard's in the right place. So you can't, it's engineered so you can't have things in the wrong place. So side bending press, cut the sides in here. So we soak the timber in hot water for 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the timber and the guitar.
Go soak it over here.
Yep. In there for 5 to 10 minutes. So that's hot water, and then it goes. The side bending press is at 140, 150 degrees. It then gets that water will evaporate out of it and leave it in place. So that'll be in there for 5 to 10 minutes again, and all of that. So they then time it. He'll come back. He'll take that out. He's got a little alarm clock with him. This is putting on the braking. So these guys here are collecting sets of guitars for build to build. So that's a set of guitars, the job sheet, ready to build.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, good.
And then they take them over to the build guys. So this is bracing, putting bracing on. Traditional way of doing it. These guitars are heading down to paint. So they've been quality checked in setup. There's a Redwood Redwood 3 Series. Yeah, Redwood Blackwood 3 Series. So with a sustainable fingerboard. So neck.
Okay.
Headstock.
So yeah, let's talk about the headstock. So pretty much you've got these. So if somebody does break the headstock,
Yep. You can get another headstock and glue it on.
and just get the headstock and glue it right on.
So it's intentionally very thin here, so that if you do drop it, it'll snap there, not the actual neck, and then you can replace that. Having said that, we're nearly up to 50,000 guitars out there. We get about 2 broken a year, although we haven't had one this year. So, so we've got a jig here that pushes the headstock on while the glue's drying, so it's got a good glue joint. Then that goes back on the CNC, and then the CNC will cut the neck out. So the Angel.
So you don't use a dovetail joint.
No,
No, you're using
a Spanish heel.
a Spanish heel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with the headstocks, with the smaller Angel, we use a smaller headstock with less wood because they tend to, a smaller guitar tends to be neck heavy.
Right.
So we have less wood. The other thing is that the Angel, before we put this fascia on, we hollow out the inside of it. So that's quite a bit lighter than that is. So this is fretboard. First part of a fretboard is to have these cuts on the CNC and glue in the inlays.
Right.
From there, back on the CNC, and it will cut the radius, cutting all the glue off the inlays, and cutting the fret slots. We then half bang the frets in. Then the whole fretboard goes into the fret press. And so if you look along that, it is super even before it's even been fret pressed. Really even fretboard. And then that whole fretboard gets glued onto the guitar. So with a dovetail sort of system, you tend to put the fretboard on the neck and then the whole neck with the fretboard onto the guitar. Because the neck's going on earlier with this system, the fretboard goes on last.
I see.
So this is the jigging for gluing fretboards on. So that's what it's doing now. And you can see these location markers so that the fretboard goes in the right place. So the fretboard, they'll go on there. That's a Arvey fingerboard, which is fully sustainable from Queensland. Kind of between rosewood and ebony in density. Nice fretboard.
Wow.
So, yeah, really good.
It's art.
So this is going to be a sunburst guitar because it's got white plastic binding. Most of what we do is wood binding. So, but when we want the binding to really pop on a sunburst, we'll put white plastic binding on it. So everything's held in place with air pressure so that they can lean into it. So this is wood binding happening. Yeah, you can see we make our own binding. So it's all doing rebating, so rebating the binding, preparing it for slide. So he's putting the nut in that guitar. This is final sand, neck and nut. This is the bass, by the way. So super light bass. That's a redwood top.
Wow.
River she oak. So all fully sustainable. Bunyip back. Queensland maple neck. Blackwood headstock. Same Cole Clark headstock join. Brass nut, which has been put on there. So very cool instrument. Really light. Like feel how heavy that is.
No electronics, yeah.
And then over here we've got it's in final inspection area, just waiting for it to be inspected down into the next area, which is paint. So that's all ready to go. It's an all blackwood body with a TO fingerboard, so fully sustainable, all Australian timbers, except for the binding, which is US rock maple. So, I mean, US rock maple is great binding material, so works well. So this is the paint.
This is the paint right now. We're at 1 in the paint.
Yep. So satin, 3 sealer coats, 2 top coats. This is the sand between one of the coats.
Wow. There we go.
So we're doing like 15 odd guitars a day. So it's we don't need automated robotic painting at this point.
No, it's nice to have a guy doing it instead of robotic painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so that's what he's painting at the moment. And this is the drying room we're in at the moment. So you can see that.
It's nice and warm in here, so the paint.
It is. So that's the sunburst I was talking about. So white plastic binding, which really pops out. Mixture of guitars. We don't need to make one sort, then another sort of guitar, then another sort of guitar. We could just make a total mix the whole way. It doesn't slow us down at all. So we'll typically do 2 of this model, 2 of that model, 3 of that model, 1 of that model, each day as we make guitars. This has got bridges being clamped on.
This is nice over here, this one.
Yeah.
It's nice the way you do that.
Yeah. So the sunburst on the back is that that on the back. So that's
more wood.
yeah. That'll go back to China for ukuleles. Come back as ukuleles. So rather
Good, you're exporting to China, that's great.
just the wood because it's too small for us to use. So
Right.
Black machine,
The plug station.
Lake Station. So German machine. 999,000 euros.
Wow.
Before shipping costs. So serious bit of kit. It's it's a CNC dedicated to dressing frets, cutting nut. So basically it does a scan, which it's doing at the moment. It'll scan to within a 1500th of a millimetre if you come around the side.
Wow.
And then it'll cut the frets to within 1500th of a millimetre. So the fret dressing is just perfect. Now it's just measuring the nut.
Wow, look at this. What a machine.
So that's measuring the nut at the moment. The first scan is under tension. This is the last scan before it cuts, John, is it? Yeah, okay. So that tool on the top is just going to cut the nut.
Wow, cool.
So it means that we've got best in class, fret dressing. Every guitar of all price points gets plecked. Higher end Martin gets plecked. Higher end Gibson, or Collings and Santa Cruz and all that sort of thing. But if you buy a $1,500 Cole Clark, it's been plecked. Doing the fret ends, doing the final little nut shaping, putting strings on, machine heads, electronics in, and all of that. So basically, I showed you the pickup before. If you've got bridge and you've got face. So if I put it on bridge and I turn the mic off, that's just the piezo happening. If I put that on full, everything above 350 hertz is going to the phase sensor. Everything below 350 hertz is going to this.
Okay, so let's try to get this in layman's terms for a lot of people. So you're at your gig, you're plugged in.
Yep.
You want to get a mixture between the actual wood of this and then a little bit of the pickup, right?
Yep.
So how do what should I do when I first sit down? I'm plugging it in the PA. I've got my monitor on, and then I've got the regular PA on. Should I start with the regular pickup and not the piezo?
No. So you start with the piezo's on all the time.
Okay, piezo. All right. But you got to blend, right?
But you're going to blend this phase sensor in. If you put it somewhere like half to 2/3,
right,
you'll just get a really natural sound.
All right.
If you turn that up full, means everything above 350 hertz is now going to the phase sensor. It'll sound slightly honky. So blues guys like it up full. You can get that sort of slightly Delta bluesy sort of sound. But other than that, half to 2/3. Jack Johnson's a half guy.
Okay.
So in there somewhere. Same with the microphone. The microphone's there to take the ping out of the piezo. It comes in extremely high, so 2.5 kilohertz, and that's going to take the ping out of the piezo.
Okay.
So that up around about half to 2/3 as well.
All right.
So really, to me, you can just go, slightly over half with both of them, and plug in and play your gig. Tend to use just go flat on the piezo, on the controls, maybe a tiny bit of mid out. And that's it. And the important thing is you go straight into a desk, into a PA, flat. You'll need to make very little adjustment to your PA.
Great.
So your front of house guy who will say, I know all about acoustics, I've got to do this, I've got to do that and everything. No, not with the Cold Clark. It's made to sound great flat.
Okay.
That's it. If you do that, it'll just sound like a guitar sitting in your lounge room, but on stage.
Great. Fantastic.
And it won't feedback any more than a normal piezo will. So we're just doing, putting bridges on, electronics in. Putting electronics in the battery compartment on.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right.
Okay. So your case will go in with the handle inside, and the reason for that is that when you put it down, it will balance. If the handle is down there, it will go like this and fall over.
Thank you.
So that's all you need to do.
All right, good. I got a double bag now because I got 2 acoustic guitars I'm touring with. Because here we are, my new Cole Clark guitar, and we're at the train station, heading back to Melbourne, and exciting day. Great product, great factory. Thanks for tuning in, and keep supporting live music. Thank you very much. Australia, Cole Clark Guitars.